Good morning. Got my audio right, I think. You guys hear me? So, I got a little to talk about today. Welcome in. My name's Shane. You're watching the Lever Monkey Live. Let's see who we got in. We got two watching, maybe. Just want to say that I was off on vacation, so I didn't get a live stream out last week. Just went and saw my mom, picked up an inherited truck that I got from my dad. Drove all the way home from Colorado. It was quite the trip. Got to see some construction on the way. There's some things I saw from the train, just car accidents and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty uneventful. I went flying with my uncle. He let me fly his plane for a little bit. He'd take off, and he did do a hands-on with me to do attempted landing. Not attempted, we landed, but I think he took over. By the time we got close to ground, he basically had full control of the airplane, and I was just riding along on the controls, which was cool. That was a lot of fun. So let me see what I've got lined up. I did have a little video, if I could figure out what I did with it. So if you guys didn't see it, I've been using the Insta360, and I just found out that the app on the phone has an amazing AI for creating video. So if you haven't seen it over on the other channel, and I created several versions of it. Let me get this. You can maybe hear that in the background, but see if I can get this going for you. Come on. Totally prepared for today. All right. So we'll hit play on that. Okay, so that video, basically, that was from the whole night. I took a bunch of clips, or actually, I recorded, sections throughout the night. I started at 10 a.m. and didn't get off work until 10 p.m. They were on the boring company that's doing the micro tunnel, which I have a photo of them putting. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. So I have them with a photo of them putting a pipe in. They were prepping it, and so here it is. They were working on getting that. Sorry, they were putting this pipe in, prepping it. They've got hoses and stuff, so you can see here that this is this is an inlet for water going down the pipe. They have pipes inside here as a little section of pipe, and they tie it into the pipe that's existing. And currently, at this time with this pipe in, they've got 700 feet of pipe in, and they're going underneath a railroad track, a Union Pacific railroad track, and and Union Pacific said they can't stop drilling until they get past their easement area. So they had to get so far past the railroad tracks to prevent the worry from Union Pacific is if they stop somewhere under the tracks, it would create a void. The tracks would, become unstable and they'd derail a train. So they had to go until they got past the easement for the railroad tracks. And so we just were there until they finished. So, get back to what I was saying. I've got a little blue pump over here in the side. This is the water pump. So water comes down, the steel pipe goes into this pipe here, gets pumped down the channel up to the head. That's doing all the chewing on the ground. And then the dirt is liquefied and pumped out via this hose here and goes up into the into a centrifuge that extracts the water out of the dirt, and then the dirt falls into a pit, which is what I was doing last night because we couldn't get trucks in there because of the big rain we had. Okay, so here's the job site. We have rain, so you can see there was a big puddle here. The water truck here is pumping water into this Baker tank, which this unit here is the centrifuge. So they have a centrifuge in here. It spins, gets all the dirt like a dryer or even your washing machine after it's done washing. It spins, and then all the water gets thrown out of your clothes, and then you throw it into a dryer to dry it further. So it has 4 parts to this machine. So you got the big centrifuge is right here, and then dirt will fall out here, and then the water will continue on to another machine that's back here behind the excavator, and it does something further, extracts more dirt out of the water, and it drops out here, and it's pretty wet still at this point, and then it comes back here to another machine right here, which does something completely different. It's not necessarily a centrifuge, but it does something, and then it drops out more dirt and mud, and then the last machine is right here. So you can, at certain angles, you could see the water running, and then this thing is just extracting, I don't know, through filters or something like that, anything that's left, and then it just drops down here, down in this pit. Now what we've got here is some kind of a lime, I believe it's a lime, and he would put his excavator bucket down here, shovel the lime into the bucket, and then spread it into this pit over the muddy material, and it would help dry the material further to the point that it's usable or movable and not just a slurry, a wet, sloppy mess to move across the job site. And here was the road that I was traveling on, going all the way out. There's my old truck, and I was piling the dirt all the way back here on this side, over here, and eventually at the end of the night I was dumping it right here because I couldn't get through back there anymore. The road got so bad I could not travel back there to dump the muck anymore. And then this road just completely got destroyed. The rock road that was there's basically no AB left on this road after I was done making a mess out of it, and it got bad. And then some of these guys were parking their trucks right along here, so this car here, it got completely covered in mud from the tires splashing mud out. So if you're ever on a job site, don't park next to a haul road, a road that has access, because I mean it's just, your car's going to be a mess. And it's another reason why a lot of people drive trucks to job sites, especially during the winter. So, for you young guys at Toyota, those things are great.
What's up,
Oh
guys?
yeah, that's the video I posted. And then here's a shot from at night. This is with me with my lights turned off. This is where the water truck was parked, but he was off getting water, so that's why I'm sitting. Excavator's parked. You can see the machine, the lights. The crane, he's actually got a pipe up in the air, and I believe this was at the point, this may have been the last pipe going into the ground. So we're probably around 9 o'clock, somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour, headed on to quitting time. But yeah, it's just a mess out there. It was tiring. But one of the things in the video, as I pull up to these guys, and actually, you know what I can do is, okay, that's for later. Don't get excited. All right, while I mess around with this, I'll just talk. So I'm going to try and find a video that I downloaded from my camera so you get to see some raw footage of, no, why am I on the wrong, is that the right one? Maybe, yeah, okay. So the raw footage I've got is from that night, and I'm going to have to sift through it for the night shift portion of it. Mute. So what I'm going to show you is the part where I pull up to the excavator. Okay, pause that and get you guys back on the display. So what we've got here is I'm pulling into the area where they're setting pipe and everything and coming back in through that driveway. So I'm coming off that road, that last picture I showed you that got destroyed. So let's just play this. I'll give you some volume on it. So you can see here that I'm going to pull in and my hand's up on the control box. I turn off my headlights to prevent the operator on the excavator from being blinded. But you can see I'm getting blinded by his lights. So I just pulled down my little visor there so it block out his highlight that's on his boom. I can't do anything about the boom or the light underneath. So this is me talking into the GoPro that's on the window over here on the right hand side. So I've got this. This will eventually become a video within itself on the other channel. So this is my next project right now because I actually did a pretty good job. There's no logos. I think the worst part of it is my bald spot on the back of my head. But other than that, I mean, we don't have any company logos that I have to really blur out that I'm too worried about. Don't really have guys' faces or people walking around with logos on their jackets or vests. So I think this is going to be an easy video to make. And these guys are pretty much almost done as well. So you guys will get to see this. This is just the raw footage of me sitting here. I'll take you out to the dump. You can see I'm sliding around. Let me see, go back. I want to get to the dump. So this is the entrance. There's a little gate right here that I'm going to go through. You can still see the sun setting, so there's a little bit of light. You're going to watch me go through a hole. And that's not bad. It gets way worse by the end of the day. That was like a 4-foot deep hole. And here I am, I'm turning right. And the machine just, because of the way the dirt is, it just started sliding towards the excavator. So I decided to stop, back out, and then try to get a different trench to get away from the excavator. It became a problem to where it just started throwing me around. I had no control over where I was going. It was just go through there, hope for the best, and it would just slide around and go wherever it wanted to. And to the right was where a slurry pit was, and it was just a mess out there working at night. I mean, it got so bad, and I had no dry dirt, and I had no way to scrape up the mud because there was no traction for it. I was surprised I was actually getting that loader to move around. You can see I'm actually turning the wheel and not getting much response out of it for direction. So it's kind of like driving down an icy road. You turn your wheel, but you're still going left even though you're turning your wheel right. You can see here not much is happening. see, that's all just mud. So I may or may not be going back there tomorrow to do this again. I don't know yet. So I've got to get a hold of my boss to find out if I'm going back out there or if I'm going to because I got dispatched to another job at a casino where Andy and my crew are having an issue, and this is kind of like a little specialty thing that's being done, because normally these guys were running 10-wheelers to haul off this muddy material, but 10-wheelers were not an option, so we had a loader sitting there, so I got the call to go out there and take care of this, and wound up working a 12-hour shift the day after I got home from vacation. So that's a sneak preview of that. Oh, Clay, hey, welcome in. Well, Clay, thank you for stopping in and saying hi, man. Enjoy your church this morning. We all need a bit of church. There's a lot of people that need some church. So go and enjoy it. You can come back and you can watch the replay of the whole episode. All right, so I've got another one here I'm going to show you guys. I'll probably throw this. This was in the little short skit, but I'll show you guys the full version of it. This is a time lapse of the sun setting. So the operator was off getting water for the system, because basically they extract as much water as they can out of the system, but the problem is they run out, is they can't get 100% of the water back that they, or recovered, that they put into the hole for the digging portion. So they need the water truck to bring water and occasionally top off their system. So this is the sun setting in time lapse, so let's enjoy that. So you see the water truck comes back. They start getting that hooked up, and then start mixing up the mud here with some more of that. You can see he's throwing in the lime into his bucket and he'll spread that out. But beautiful sunset we got. And then here in a second you'll see me come running back into the picture and jump on the machine. There it is. So that was what I did yesterday, or Friday. That was my day. Yeah, thank you. Dude, and there's a ton of them. I've got a bunch of those short videos that are just, I was going through because I'm learning it and I'm trying to learn which all the different styles is, but it's mostly geared towards like bicycling, water sports, things like that. It's not necessarily designed for work stuff, but so I'm going through and I'm trying to learn all the different. They've got a ton of options for making the little short videos, and this video was the first one I figured out on how to edit. So I was able to add or move some of the cuts around to get the things in that I wanted, especially the ending of the video. Specifically, me pulling up to my truck and turning the lights out and then turning on the cab light. It did not have that in the video. I had to, I edited the end of it and a couple of little areas where my lights went out as I pulled up to the operator. So, I mean, you're talking about 1 second cuts that I'm trying to do with this thing, and it's really amazing. And I think I may have talked my mom into buying one. She wanted one for her cats. My mom has become the cat lady of the neighborhood at her house since Dad died. But you know what? More power to her. She's having fun. She's enjoying her life. She's still going strong. Um, it was good to see her. She was happy to see me. I got to spend my birthday with her and my uncle. Got to go flying, and then the day after my birthday, I spent the whole day with my mom. And then I went home the next day, the next morning early. Uh, so that was the trip. Wasn't depressing too much. Went through my dad's garage, all his tools and everything. I've got pretty much everything I need for tools. I just was just looking through there, finding some of the old tools that he and I may have used, more memorabilia than anything. He did have a lot of specialty tools from what was it? From just over the years, specialty old stuff. Got a couple of locks, old locks. Maybe I'll show it into next week. But they came from the Union Pacific, and these things are like 80 years old. One's like 80 years old, one's a bit newer, but they came out of rail cars. I mean, old school stuff. Big old fat key on one of them. So they're really cool. All right, I'm going to go over to. I've got a video over here of a. What is this? That 385. So what we got here is a 385 excavator, and this thing is big. This is a long reach. So this video is more of a. Let's see, do I have sound on this thing? Yeah, I've got it muted. So what they're doing here with this rig is they're doing underground walls, and they do this on like levee work and stuff. Now this is interesting. Let me see if I can back that up a couple of frames here. So back here they've got teeth. They've got little pots and stuff welded onto the back of this bucket, so that way they can use the back of the bucket to break up the ground, and then they use the bucket to scrape it up. And this is a little arrowhead configuration designed for maximum pressure on the center tooth, and then you got two tigers, or actually the tigers, I call them pickle fork, and then the tiger teeth are here, the straight ones, designed for digging through rock. So this is out in the middle of nowhere. This video is really old, back when our levees were being repaired and reinforced. So what they're doing is they're digging down like 60 feet vertical down next to levees. And so what they're going to do is they're just going to pour concrete mixture into these holes. You can kind of see something going on here. I'm not listening to what's going on, but this looks like a pond that they're working on. I'm not sure because I'm not listening to it. Little Cat 336 with a semi cleanup bucket. That's like a 6-footer, maybe a 7-foot bucket. But he's just talking about what they're doing. Oh, yay, commercial. So a 390F. Okay. So here he's talking about the. I thought that was a 385. I guess not. It's a 390. So, anyways, we talked about long reaches before, so I just wanted to show you guys this. Let me see. Custom built 390F. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to see this. You can see here, I'll throw a link into this one if you care to watch it. So you guys can watch that after. There's, let me go back just a little bit. So they actually are putting wood dunnage down to float this machine to distribute the weight as they go along. So this looks like this is possibly a mining area where they're pulling sand, rock, whatever out, and maybe they're just trying to secure the wall from water infiltration. I don't know, but what I can tell you is when you're digging as deep as these guys are digging, this water that they're putting into the hole, that they're pumping into it, will actually help the pressure of the water helps keep the walls vertical, so you don't need shoring. They're just going to they'll just use the water pressure to keep the dirt from caving in and keeping the walls vertical. So that's pretty much what is going on right there. That's why there's so much water in the hole. But it's a cool operation. What else we got? Oh, we got an old. This is one of the oldest loaders that was used for mining. These things are huge. And these things all just disappeared into history.
Revolutionized their industries, and then there are machines that simply disappear into obscurity despite their incredible engineering achievements. The Clark 675 wheel loader belongs firmly in the second category. In the 1970s,
so, yeah, these things are just enormous. The Clark 675, huge machine, makes what we have today look small. I mean, look how small that cab is compared to this machine. It's just enormous. I mean, our machines that we use today are enormous as well, but just the technology is so much better today that you can get a lot more pressure. They're using electric. This was completely hydraulically driven compared to what we have as an electric, electric over diesel engine. So you have a diesel engine that turns a generator, which turns the electrical motors, which run the rest of the machine, which are actually a lot stronger than this machine. But just the fact that in the 70s they built machines like this is amazing. I really haven't even gone through this thing. Oh yes, the no cab times. Safety was not an issue. So I have seen videos of guys picking their buckets up and having the bucket curled with a big rock in it, and the rock falling off back towards the cab. And basically, you just turn into a bug on a window. So safety was improved. They added cabs. These cabs are not the same as the ropes system that we use today. Ropes is for rollover protection, but also from impact on other things. What do we got? So still 675. You can see the rollover protection has been improved here at this point. They actually put some steel bars and whatnot over the cab, so it's not integrated into the machine itself yet. I mean, oh God, look at the wheel compared to that dump truck there. And this is before we had really big dump trucks. So one bucket probably filled that dump truck up. So this is a more modern one here.
Other manufacturers, such as Le Tourneau, also saw an opportunity and began developing giant loaders like the L series, which would soon set world records once thought unimaginable when Clark launched its 675.
Okay, he's just talking all about this Clark machine. Okay. So another video here. This is a guy that's going through and did a tour of the Hyundai manufacturing where they build excavators. I guess he got special permission to get in there and take video and pictures, and this was in Hong Kong, I believe. So you can see these machines actually being built. It's an interesting video to watch. I thought I'd be able to play more of it, but here's an example of a small track. Yeah, that's a 600 mil track. That's a tiny track. Lots of clearance on this machine. these are usually used more for mining, not in street work. Since we do a lot of street work here in America, our tracks are usually pretty wide to try to do the least amount of damage to roads. And our tracks usually, our frames are usually not this high. So this is more of what you would see for us is about a 700 to 800 mil track. I think these are 700s. Low frame. This is a 300 series, I believe. 300 ton, or sorry, 30 ton, maybe a 25 ton machine. But a lot different than the way they used to be built. A lot of machinery being used versus guys using cranes and slowly putting them together. They manufacture these things a lot faster than they used to, and a lot cleaner. And actually, I really do like the Hyundais. Hyundais, or I think, is that what it was? I'm trying to remember what rig it was that I was running. But I think it was just about their mirrors that I liked the best. The way their mirrors set up were. And I'm talking about stuff, and you guys aren't seeing what I'm talking about because I forgot to transition it over. Oh, and nobody said anything. You guys need to tell me when I'm screwing up here. There you go. Now you can see the machine I was looking at. Big old loader from back in the 70s. This is the rollover protection I was talking about, where they actually improved the rollover protection. So you can see here's the rollover protection on it, and then here in a second it'll so this is it without the rollover protection. So if this thing rolls over, that cab gets smashed and operator's done. Trying to find that little clip I was talking about. That there was a loader that did not have rollover protection on it. Where did you go? Oh well, nah, I don't see it. But anyways, but 390. Then pumping water in. This is what I was talking about. They pump water in to keep the ditch straight up and down, keep it from caving in. Oh, interesting fact. Come on. So the holes, they purposely drill holes to allow water out of the back of the bucket. And another good reason for this, when the water comes out, means there's less in here, but you can see these holes right here that were purposely put into the back of the bucket. When you're digging in mud and stuff like that, when you go to throw this mud away, what happens is you get this suction cup effect and you can't get the muddy clay material out of the bucket. So these holes allow air in and that material just falls out. Makes it real easy. So with that, I think we've gone 42 minutes. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it here. Just a couple of you watching, anyways. But thanks for hanging out and watching again, as usual. I'm gonna go take my morning blood pressure pill, and then I'm gonna relax. I got a few things to do. I've got to clean out my old truck and start prepping my new truck for going to work in, and then get my old truck ready to sell. Anybody interested in an old 2006 Dodge Ram 3/4 ton diesel? If you are, just send me a message. I'm gotta get rid of it. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, keep your butt level and your ditch straight. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit the little like and subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Okay, guys. Where's the stop stream? There it is. Bye.